We are live! West Coast Sports Junkies from our studios in New Westminster, South Surrey, and Burnaby from beautiful British Columbia. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on podcasting platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Be sure to also follow us on Twitter at West Coast Sport 9. If you have any suggestions, questions, or just want to get into it with us, Ty, Mike, and myself are always here to interact. Reach out to us by email at westcoastsportsjunkies@gmail.com. We are also now on Instagram at west_coast_sports_junkies. Follow us there. West Coast style. Ready to talk sports, beer, and everything between. Here we go!
Slayed the dragon! It's a wonderful day for an exorcism. Mario Mandzukic pounced, and England are hot! Touchdown Seahawks!
Wednesday, March 24th. Welcome to another episode of the West Coast Sports Junkies, episode number 6. We got a lot to get into tonight. We're going to get into the NFL Free Agency. We're going to get into the Seahawks. We're also going to get into the Canucks update. Michael Peters going to get us into the UFC recap and UFC 260, which is going to be a great one. We're also going to talk a little bit about possibly getting some fans back at Rogers Arena. Apparently that's in the works right now. And we'll talk to Mr. Dan Nandez. We'll talk a little dirty. Well, tonight it's that time, and I've got myself a Palm Bay Zero back on the wagon again. It is a key lime cherry.
Okay. Good to see you, Chris. Tonight I'm going with a Parallel 49 Craft Lager. Ty, what you got going tonight, buddy?
Well, it's good to see you guys again. Episode 6, like Chris said. I am just cracking open a Stella. Actually haven't had a beer since last Thursday, so took a little break, but had to crack one, maybe a few for the podcast tonight.
Right on, man. Chris, before we get into it, what's your weight at, buddy? I'm sure we got a lot of fans wondering.
You know what? I had a couple of cheat days as I was out of town for work, and I haven't actually stepped on the scale in a couple of days. But I will get an update for you soon, as soon as I'm brave enough to step on the scale again.
Bring the scale into your room right now. Let's do this live.
Oh, jeez. Okay, you guys go ahead. I'll go get the scale. But then I have to take all my clothes off because it doesn't count if you ever close.
Okay, never mind. We'll ask you next week. Next week,
right.
you got a week to get yourself back in action, okay?
Yeah, have a number ready for us.
I will. You know what? I had a couple of days, like I said, out of town. I was in Victoria. I was hanging out with Robbie Boy, and it was quite the evening. I don't remember most of it, but we did eat a lot. So,
you know, the beautiful thing about a podcast is we can't see you, man. You could throw any number out there you want.
That's true.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. We're not here to misinform people. We're here to tell the truth, right? That's our whole thing.
That's true.
Yeah, you got it. And what do you guys think? Should we dive right into this week's updates? Some news?
Yeah, let's do it. Lots going on.
Lots.
Yeah, so right off the bat here, let's jump into some Seahawk activity. They've been fairly busy. Like I said in the past podcast, they're usually pretty quiet in the first wave of free agency, but the second wave, when all the big money is spent, they come around and look for the bargain deals, which we're not always fans of. But the big one this week was re-signing Chris Carson to a 2-year deal.
Boo.
Why are you booing? Why are you booing? I thought you were.
I said on the last podcast I'm not a Chris Carson fan, and I was happy that we didn't franchise tag him, and that we're going to go with Penny. I still believe we should be going with Penny.
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? Russ tweeted out actually very excited about the Carson signing.
Maybe that's what he wanted. So, eh? Maybe he was pumped for that.
Yeah, that was one of the things he was over the Warren Moon for, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've talked about how our offense is run, right? We're a run first team, so he's definitely the type of runner that suits our style, and he's a hard nose, put his head down, gain those tough yards. I really do like Penny, but I don't think he could hold up in a full NFL season. We haven't seen him be able
Two things I don't like about Carson, and that's one, he gets hurt almost every season, and two, he fumbles the ball too much. He's not a Marshawn Lynch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the closest thing we've had to Marshawn Lynch since he left.
Why would they let him go and experience free agency?
Well, like I said,
then you're gonna have to pay him.
No, they paid him less. That's why it worked out better for them. So the franchise tag, he's guaranteed a lot more money, but it would be just a 1-year deal. So we would have to pay him a lot more this season if we franchise tagged him. So by not doing that, we let him dip his toe into free agency, and he was looked at and he was fairly highly coveted as a running back in this class of free agents, but I think he didn't see the money out there that he was expecting. So he circled back. Great fit in Seattle. We got him less than we would have had to pay him with the franchise tag. So
okay, I mean
that's why he dipped his toe, or that's why they let him dip his toe, so that he can come back at a cheaper price.
He also risked losing them too, right?
Yeah,
which I guess
they were prepared to do that. So
yeah, true. Yeah, no, I don't absolutely hate the move, but like I've said before, I'd like to see Penny give it a go, be our number one guy. But he's still there too, so you never know. We could
back to your 2 points. Last year, Carson didn't fumble as much as the previous year. He kind of got that under control. It was a lot better. You can agree.
I would agree, but wouldn't you agree with me that you see backs in the NFL that fumble one damn time and they're boom, right in the pine.
Mm-hmm.
They're done.
That's true.
I've seen Carson fumble multiple times in a game. We go right back to him.
He's got it under control. And in terms of the injury thing, he's been the most reliable and healthy. I know he's got hurt, but Penny, you're talking about Penny, he has not been reliable at all. He's been hurt for the last 2 years. Was it last year that like all of our backs were injured and we had to go with like Homer and we had to go with there was a Collins, I think, right? No, the year before. Was it the year before? Yeah. That's why Marshawn Lynch. That's why Marshawn Lynch came back. That was awesome, games. Man. How exciting was that? And Lynch came back for those, even the playoff run. And there's that game we played against San Fran, and we came down right to the goal line. Remember? Oh yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I was at the Green Bay playoff game where he ran in a touchdown. That was his last touchdown in the NFL, which was really cool to see. That's cool. Yeah, some good times.
Hey, so what about this backup? I can't remember his name, but I guess he knocked some guy out at a bar in Seattle.
Alex Magoo.
Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo. So it wasn't in Seattle. It was in Tampa, Florida. And it was probably happening while we were recording our last podcast, which is kind of funny. He was out partying for St. Patrick's Day and got in an altercation with someone and threw a couple punches. Made the news, not in the way a professional athlete wants to make the news, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. It's a shame that happens, but I guess he's gonna have to deal with that.
What? Yeah, wasn't there somebody else that got into a bar fight? The guy from Abbotsford too, recently here.
Yeah, Chase Claypool. Yeah, he TMZ actually released footage of him in a bar, and he got in a fight with some guys, him and his group, and he kicked a guy when he was down. Just not good. I don't know what's with some of these young players, man. You can't put yourselves in these situations.
You're
That's
a
just
pro
it.
athlete. You're a
They're
pro
young.
athlete. Yeah, but
That's the problem.
you're still a pro athlete. Why are you even going there? Why are you even doing that?
Well,
I mean,
it's because they're young. That's probably why.
where's the guidance? Where's the guidance? Where's the team guidance? You know, you should have signed
Claypool's
someone.
parents are probably here, right? They're probably in Abbotsford.
Yeah, true.
So who's really guiding him? His teammates.
Yeah, well, I think there's going to be more about this in the dirty talk later on. So we'll get into it. We're getting off track a little bit. Back to the Seahawk free agency real quick. So obviously we've been talking about the two big needs for the Seahawks, right? The offensive line and a pass rush. So they've addressed a few of those this past week. They signed Benson Mayawa, who we had last year as well. He's a good player. He was arguably our best pass rusher last season because you can't really count Jamal Adams because he's a safety, even though he, I think, led our team in sacks. But it was surprising to hear we signed a former 49er, Kerry Hyder, to a 3-year deal. And he had a career high 8.5 sacks for the 49ers last year. So it was good to see we address the pass rush a little bit, but those aren't the names, I was looking for. How about you guys?
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, hopefully Pete sees something in that guy that going forward that I don't see the guy. But let me ask you, with Jamal Adams, is he still with us?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what's his contract like? So like a 4-year deal?
I think he's only got 1 year left on his deal, and he's got a big cap hit. Yeah, he's got a big cap hit.
Yeah.
And he's so good around the line of scrimmage, but he's such a ball hawk. Like he wants to be around the ball. By signing a few better defensive linemen in the pass rush, it can hopefully let him get back into the secondary a little more, disrupt things out there, because you can't have your safety being your leading sack guy on the team, right?
Yeah, I get you. I still see snippets and articles and stuff like that coming up that the Richard Sherman might make a reunion back in Seattle. How would you feel about that?
I'd be over the moon about that one. I'd be super happy.
Warren Moon.
Not quite that happy.
The Warren Moon.
But I definitely welcome it. I think we're going to have a lot of young guys right now battling. We got some good players back there, but bringing in a veteran like that would be really beneficial to our football team.
Yeah, I agree. And show them the way, show them how to study, show them what to look for, how to train, all that stuff.
Yep. And last but not least, our favorite topic with the Seahawks is the offensive line. So that was the big need. We wanted an upgrade. As we talked about last week, the Gabe Jackson trade was awesome. So we re-signed Jordan Simmons, Ethan Pocic, and Cedric Ogbui, who were all starters at some point last year on our makeshift offensive line. It's a little surprising to bring back all these guys because, as we saw last year, our O-line wasn't great. So essentially all we've done so far is replaced Mike Lupati, who retired earlier this year, for Gabe Jackson, who we just traded for. So you would say 80% of the same O-line. And that's a little troubling.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I'm not happy about that. I'd like to see some more moves, and there's still time that we can make moves with the draft coming up and everything. And we got a 2nd round pick there. Hopefully we do something up front. I would hope to see. Who's our center right now?
That's Ethan Pocic, who we just re-signed. Yeah.
Oh, right.
We just signed him to a 1-year deal. I mean, he wasn't terrible last year, and it was his first year playing the position. You know how the Seahawks like to move pieces around and train them for a new position, like we've converted defensive players to offensive linemen, tight ends to offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So he was kind of a project, and another year, obviously playing the position, gain a little more experience. I think he'll be a little bit better, but I agree with you. I hope they do something in the draft because I don't see our offensive line being that much better.
No, I'd have to agree with you.
So yeah, another thing is we lost David Moore to the Panthers. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, man, we're losing depth. It seems like all over the roster because obviously we're set outside with DK Metcalf. We got Tyler Lockett in the slot, or he can also play outside. But yeah, that leaves Freddie Swain as our third option, our third string wide receiver. The Seahawks are high on him, but he's very unproven. He hasn't done much yet. So yeah, I'm hoping we go somewhere else in free agency. There's a few names out there, and one actually that is intriguing that hasn't been signed yet is Golden Tate. I would love for the Seahawks to bring him back, even on a 1-year deal, 2-year deal. Him and Russ have a great history. They have a great connection already. There's no Percy Harvin in the locker room anymore to cause any friction. And yeah, what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to say that David Moore made some big catches for us last year, and I wish him well. I hope that he has a great career and that he does well for himself. Golden Tate, yeah, I'm an absolute fan of Golden Tate. Love him. He played great while he was in Seattle. I would be surprised though if we went after him. There was some controversy going on there when he left.
Yeah.
And they were saying that it had to do with Russell Wilson's ex-wife.
Yeah, there's all these crazy rumors, man. But like I've seen, they're still friends. Like Golden Tate and Russell Wilson's ex-wife. And
I remember when like he went to Detroit, and then all these rumors were circling around, and Russell Wilson didn't say anything about them. And Golden Tate went out and he said to the media, he's like, I don't know why he doesn't squash these. He should, because they're not true, saying that he had some kind of affair with Russell Wilson's wife. That's sort of what the rumor that was going around was.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that Ashton Wilson and Golden Tate's wife are like best friends, or they hang out a lot. You see through Golden Tate's social media and stuff. I follow him. He's a golfer. He's pretty entertaining.
And he's always up in Whistler, BC, every year. I guess maybe when there wasn't COVID, but he's always up there. He loves Whistler. But I don't know. It's hard to say what's going to. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it as a fan. I'm a huge Golden Tate fan, and that'd be a great combination. We have DK Metcalf, Golden Tate, and
Tyler Lockett there. Yeah,
Tyler Lockett, man, that's a great receiving core right there.
And there are some other good depth receivers out there, but Golden Tate brings back the memories. Super Bowl champ. Just it'd be cool for that little reunion, and he's honestly still got a lot left in the tank, I think.
Yeah, but maybe if you bring him in, right, and he's saying his wife is still friends with Russell Wilson's ex-wife, and then you start bringing Russell Wilson's ex-wife around more often, it might be a distraction to Russell Wilson. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
But the nostalgic feeling's always good. I mean, when you get those old players coming back, I love that feeling. Especially when they're champions, when they're winners, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, just before we get into the Canucks update, I got a couple of comments from our last couple of podcasts where people are, oh, you guys are West Coast. You guys are the West Coast sports junkies. You guys talk West Coast football, but you don't talk about the BC Lions. And I said, okay, so here's our BC Lions update. And that's all we got. All right. Now we can move on to the Canucks. So since the last time we spoke, last time we were on the air, I think that night the Canucks beat the Senators 3-2 in a shootout. It was an interesting game. I mean, the Senators are the Senators, but they did put up a good fight. After that, though, was probably my favorite game of the week. It was the overtime win against Montreal. Tough game. Everybody was into it. Everybody was skating around like crazy, hitting each other. It was a really good game. The refereeing, oh my goodness, what terrible calls. I don't know what was going on in Montreal that day, but man, just some terrible calls. I mean, the Canucks, they ended up winning in overtime on a beautiful goal by Ryan Miller. Just deked everybody out. Backhanded it in. Jake Allen had no chance on that goal. But the refereeing in that game, actually in the two Montreal games, was just terrible. Did you guys notice? I mean, there was a high stick. Totally
agree. It was just terrible. I mean, the high stick, especially at that point of the game too. And then we took a penalty right after that, like a horrible penalty, like a brutal call.
It was a brutal call. It was a non-call. So it was a minute and a half left. Toffoli got Myers in the face, bloody nose,
cut him open,
spilling blood everywhere. I mean, that should have been a penalty, number one. That would have ended the game. We wouldn't even gone to overtime, and it would have helped our playoff chances, right? But anyways, enough about that. I mean, we'll get into referees a little bit later. As a couple things happened with them this week, but what a terrible, terrible, terrible game for refereeing. But a great outcome.
Yeah, definitely.
I think after what we saw this week, you're going to see better refereeing going forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some things are going to change.
And then the following game was again the game against Montreal, the second half of that back-to-back against the Canadiens. And a loss in the shootout. It was, again, tough game. It was a good game. Carey Price, he was being Carey Price again. I don't know about the Holt be that game. I got mixed feelings about that. I thought he was okay, but really, I don't know. Vezina winner, Stanley Cup winner, and
he's definitely disappointed. When he came over, I thought he'd provide a little bit more. He definitely looks like he's on the downward end of his career, the way he's playing. I mean, that game he wasn't terrible. He had a lot of shots, but you're right. There was some key saves and some big moments that he needed to make a save, and he just didn't make that save. So,
yeah, it was a little disappointing. I mean, I don't know what to think about him. I thought that we'd have at least a little bit of stability in the backup. Like, even not, they were brought in to be co-starters, right?
Yeah,
both of them. But Demko just kind of ran with it. Yet, Holtby hasn't even.
Yeah, I think they were brought in to be kind of co-starters, but they were hoping, which did happen, which is one positive from the season for sure, is that Demko took it and ran with it, right? Because obviously we picked Demko over Markstrom. He's the goalie of the future. So
yeah, but hold on. Was this strategy by Benny? Because Benny really wanted to sign Markstrom, like badly wanted to sign Markstrom. So was this strategy or was this just luck?
Oh man, I don't know. Well, I guess we got to give him some benefit of the doubt and say it was a little strategy. It was a good call.
Did you guys want Markstrom?
I would have kept Markstrom if he wasn't at that price. Yeah, I would have kept Markstrom. He was good. He's awesome.
Yeah, but even at the time, obviously Demko didn't start the year very good, but I understand why they went that way. He's the younger goalie. Obviously, he's a lot cheaper right now. So I understand why they did it, but yeah, I would have liked to have Markstrom too.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Markstrom grew in front of us, right? Like he came in, he was pretty not that good.
And kind
of
definitely
grew into it. Yeah, so it's nice to see that, right? Like with Luongo, when we traded and got him, he was already established. He was still already a good goalie. Where Markstrom, I felt like we
got him in that Luongo trade, hey, when we sent him back.
Oh, did we? He came from Florida. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and then the following game was on Monday night. I didn't really watch it. I was out COVID friendly, obviously, but out on the town in Victoria having a couple drinks, and they lost 4-0. So
yeah, but it didn't feel like a 4-0 loss. I thought that they played better than that.
Yeah, it was 1-0. It was 1-0 going into the third. It was a lot closer game than the final score indicates.
Yeah. I'd agree
with
that. I thought we played pretty well, actually. I'm impressed with the way Besser's been playing. I think he's the best player on the ice. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I agree with that this year. I think Besser is going to be the, he's going to get the MVP of the team. He's been solid. He's been like doing creative things like I haven't seen him do since he was a rookie.
That wrist shot he's got up. Is wicked.
Yeah, and the impressive thing is how not only him, but they've all stepped up without Pettersson, right? He's really filled that void.
I'd like to know what's going on there.
Yeah, what is going on there? Like, has anyone heard anything? I heard
lower body injury, but
yeah, the way they are reporting injuries, they don't have to be specific about it. But I remember when he first got hurt, the original forecast was like a game or two. He was day to day. So I'm not really sure what changed with Benning's press conference where he said that, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's coming back. Well, the good thing is, in a way, we have the bye week after tonight's game, so we don't play again until next Thursday. So hopefully, this extra week will give him a chance to get healthy and hopefully be back out there next week.
So he did not miss a game last year, right? Like the last time he missed the game was when he got nailed behind the net by that Florida guy when he was like super young.
Yeah,
first year in the league, right?
Yeah,
it's just surprising because he's a smaller dude, right? And he gets hit quite a bit.
Yeah, but he bounces, like people bounce off him. It's actually impressive, and he eludes the other players. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like his.
He's learning how to play the game for sure, like with his size.
Yeah, he does that hit back thing. He gets hit.
Exactly. Braces for it and kind of gives the shoulder back. Yeah, I like that.
You know who's good at that? Edler. Edler's really good at that on the Canucks.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, a couple notable things that happened in the last game, Chris. I don't know if you're aware, if you missed it, but the Horvat was injured, and I think there was another injury too. Was it Edler that was injured as well?
Yeah, but the big one was Horvat. It was scary.
Yeah, he left the game, and they were talking about after and Demko going into the game. They were talking about him being a Vezina candidate and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you still think that he's in that running after losing 4-0, or do you think that that's done with?
I think he still will be in the conversation. I mean, it's one game, but the team has to have results, I think, to actually be considered. A front runner. You look at what Andrei Vasilevsky's doing in Tampa. I think he's won 11 or 12 games in a row. He's just on an absolute tear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He should be in the conversation. He's not. Like he's in the conversation to us, but he's not.
And his name will be mentioned, but he's not going to be like up there as the main candidate. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely like he's got attention around the league for sure.
It's funny though how many good years Luongo had here. He never won a Vezina ever.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising, actually.
Well, there was always someone better. There was always a better story than Roberto Luongo because Roberto Luongo played for the Canucks, and nobody likes the Canucks, right?
And we had a really good team.
We had a good team, the Sedins.
Yeah, but that's what you just said.
No,
Tampa's goalie has a good team
for sure,
so he's gonna win the Vezina. How come when we were President's Trophy winners every year, that Luongo wasn't even considered? Why?
Yeah, well, there's different things. So Tampa's not scoring at the normal rate they do. They haven't had Kucherov, so like his stats wise, like he has not allowed a lot of goals. Like I said, 11, 12 games in a row. Luongo could have the odd bad night, and the Sedins and our high scoring team at the time would make up for it. You know what I mean? Like he didn't always have those stats to back it up, but I see what you're saying.
All right. This past weekend, we had Matt Jones, the Aussie, easily win the Honda Classic down in Palm Beach, Florida. That tournament is played at PGA National. He won by 5 strokes. And even going into Sunday, he had a massive lead. Like it wasn't even a close tournament. The only thing that's really notable about PGA National, that course, and this tournament together is the Bear Trap. The Bear Trap is holes 15, 16, 17. It's a stretch of holes that is around water, and it's some of the toughest golf that you could ever play. And these guys are professionals. And I was watching on Sunday. I didn't see the whole thing, but I remember the count was 259 balls went into the water on this stretch called the Bear Trap.
Yeah.
Just in this tournament. And I think last year was like 339 balls went in the water on that stretch, the Bear Trap.
I'm not going to lie. I love seeing the pros put all those balls in the water, man. Does that mean?
Yeah, it's kind of mean, man, because I know the feeling. And, whenever I watch...
That's why I like to see them do it.
When I watch this tournament in particular, and you watch the Bear Trap, I think of you, because I know you love these types of, like, obstacles, difficult, terrain.
I do, man. I love water.
I absolutely hate it, because I know that's where I'm going. And I like, I think golf's hard enough if it's just a straight hole with trees on each side that you can't lose your ball. No bunkers, no water, nothing. It's still a tough game. It's still hard to get there in 4 shots. So
I agree with you there.
I totally think of you when I think of the Bear Trap. I'm like, this course has got to be on Ty's radar, because I'm sure 100%. He would love
You took the words out of my mouth. That course is on my list, man. A lot of those Florida courses are, but that's a Jack Nicklaus design. He normally, I don't think has. Actually, you know what? He does have water a lot incorporated into his golf courses. You think of even Nicholas North.
Yeah, for sure. Which actually we made a tea time for this week for June, so that should be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Love going to Worcester.
For sure. But yeah, the tournament, man, when there's not those big names on the leaderboard, it's just not the same drama. And especially when the guy's got a big lead. Like,
it wasn't really exciting golf. It was cool to see like I said, that I just sat there and I watched the bear trap. I watched that whole stretch, and it's arguably the hardest stretch in golf, and it lives up to it every single year. That's one reason why I love this Honda Classic. That's pretty much the only reason why I watch it. So
it's time for the UFC update, Mike.
Yeah, so let's start off with last weekend really quickly. We had another UFC fight night, Saturday night. Main event was Derek Brunson versus Kevin Holland. This is the only real fight I want to talk about. It was a middleweight belt. Derek Brunson is an older guy, about 37 years old. He's been a top 10 fighter in the division for the last 5 years. And this Kevin Holland, I don't know if you guys seen him fight, but he's a talented fighter. Mm-hmm. I think he's really good. I had him winning this. I thought he was going to win this fight. He's super cocky, right? He came into the fight chirping. He was chirping the whole time, no matter what was happening.
Such a weird. I did. That was such a weird fight.
You go down, he's chirping. He's like chirping to Dana White in between rounds. He's standing,
Khabib.
not sitting, and to Khabib,
while he's losing around.
Yeah, and then completely lost the fight. So Brunson took him down, would beat him up. This guy did nothing but chirp the whole time. Dana White the next day, or maybe it was that day, said that he'd never seen anything like it before, that it was an absolute mental breakdown.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know what the hell he was doing. It was obvious that Brunson was the bigger fighter. Mm-hmm. I know that Holland weighed in at 183, and it's in the 185 division. So he even said after the fight that he's thinking he should talk to a nutritionist and go down in weight, which I agree. And he's got to shut his mouth and
now was
fighting.
that Holland's first main event, like headlining a card?
No,
he's fought on a main event before. I'm not talking about main card. I mean the main event.
I'm pretty sure his last fight he was a main.
Yeah, I was just curious because maybe the moment was just too big for him or something, and that was his way of dealing with the nerves.
He's won some, but like the last fight, he knocked the guy out from the ground, right? So he's had some fame because of like his ability,
for sure.
And certainly it looks like it completely went to his head. He's a younger guy too, so maybe that has to do with it. Man, I don't know, but it was upsetting. It was frustrating to watch. I don't know how you felt, but I was just like, dude, shut your mouth and start.
Yeah, I was like, what's wrong with
round.
this guy?
Yeah. And you thought that Brunson being the older guy, the bigger guy, that he was going to gas out. No, it didn't happen. It was almost like Holland.
Well,
he did
what he had to do, right? Takedowns. He was a bigger guy.
Yeah.
He was fairly effective once he got him down. Didn't land anything crazy, but he just dominated and controlled the fight.
Ground and pound, and he shut his mouth, which is shut his mouth
well,
and fought.
It was surprising to me to hear that I think he's won 12 middleweight fights, just behind Anderson Silva and Bisping for the most in the middleweight division UFC history. That was kind of surprising for me. He's been around for a while, hey?
He's been there for a long time, yeah. One more thing that one more comment I have about the UFC fight night. Like I said, I watched them all. Khabib was there, and then Dana White announced that day that it's official. He's retired. He's done. Khabib came on and said, I'm not going anywhere. His brother's fighting. His cousins are fighting. He's still going to be around the UFC. But I remember a couple of years ago, GSP wanting to fight Khabib. And Khabib saying, and UFC saying, no, why would they want Khabib to fight GSP? Yeah. Because if GSP wins, then what? Khabib's nothing. He's done, right?
Yeah.
Khabib's saying that he's got nothing to prove to anybody anymore. He's the champion. He's won, he's got all his money now. He's got no reason to fight. Well, how about a super fight with GSP? That's what I want to see. That's what I'm calling out right now. You do it the welterweight level.
We got to get Dana White on here. That would be unreal. That would be awesome, man. I like the sound of that.
I'm gonna start tweeting after the show.
We'll power tweet him, trying to get that, try to will that fight into existence or something.
Yeah.
That would be something I'd be spending my money on to see for sure.
100%.
Okay, so this weekend coming up, we have UFC 260, Stipe versus Nagano. It's the rematch. So these two people, these are heavyweight belt, championship belt is on the line. Stipe, the champ, the Croatian sensation. Govic and I,
the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah, Govic and I already have a shot bet. He's got 2-1. So if Stipe wins, I do 1 shot on air next week. And if Nagano wins, Govic's doing 2 shots on air next week. Now this is how I break down this fight. I'm already taking Nagano because I go against Chris here. He's going to go with his boy. 3 years ago, these two fought. They fought in Boston.
Yep.
Nagano got gassed immediately in the first round. He threw some bombs, some haymakers.
He caught him too, though.
Caught him a couple times. Nagano's got the hardest punch in the world. It's like documented. It's like a Guinness Book World Record of like the hardest punch of a human. So I'm taking Nagano in this fight. The odds are he's actually the favorite. He's a minus 125 favorite, and Stipe is a minus 105. So it's a very close fight. I say the only way Nagano has a chance of winning this fight is he's going to knock him out in the first round. So that's my bet. I bet Nagano to win this fight, and I bet him to win it in the very first round.
I like that.
Yeah,
I don't.
Be some good odds on that too. I'm sure.
You get good odds on the first round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we watching this from your lawn or what? What are we doing? We getting together to watch this?
We're gonna have to figure out a way to watch it socially distanced for sure.
To the main event, which is Stipe versus Nagano, and the co-main event we got Tyron Woodley versus Vicente Luke, and Tyron Woodley, the former champ at the welterweight division, featherweight division. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He hasn't won since he was the champion and he defended his title. He lost his belt and he's just lost. We got Vicente Luke. He's 8-1 of his last 9 in the UFC. He's on a 3-fight win streak.
Yeah.
And
I got him to beat Woodley first. I think he's going to beat Woodley.
Same. I got him to beat Woodley too. I'm
going to throw him in a parlay.
3 fight of the night awards. Yeah. My parlay. I'll get to my bets at the end of this. The next fight we got going on is we got my boy, the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida. And O'Malley's the biggest favorite on the card. He's at minus 310. He's coming off a loss. He was claiming to be injured in that fight that he fought Chito. He just didn't look the same. If he comes out, if it's the Sugar Show we're used to seeing, I don't think this guy can be beaten. He's just too confident. I've seen him win fights on one leg. Literally, he broke his foot and still won a fight.
Oof.
And we got Almedia, whatever. He's coming off of a couple losses, so it's almost set up for the Sugar Show. It's going to be a tough bout. Obviously, he's a major favorite, and hopefully that doesn't go to his head, and he's not looking past this guy. And the fight to kick off the night is going to be Jamie Mullarkey versus Con Worthy. Jamie Mullarkey, it's his 3rd appearance in the UFC. He has 0 wins, and he's fighting Con Worthy. He lost.
He has 0 wins, and he's on the main card.
Yeah, he's on the main card.
Times are tough.
The guy he's fighting though is Con Worthy, and he's lost his last fight. However, he's beaten some notables. One of which is my boy, a guy I like, is Louis Pena. Have I ever showed you him before? Yeah. I love that guy. He's a talented fighter, and he Con beat him. So that's the main card. There's a couple other notables in the prelims. We got Khabib Nurmagomedov. I don't know how to pronounce his last name there. His cousin's fighting.
You did good. Close enough.
Yeah. His cousin's fighting. So Khabib will be in attendance. And then one last thing, just to say that the co-main event for this fight was supposed to be Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega for the championship. And that was one of the fights I was actually super stoked to see. because I'm a huge Brian Ortega fan. I think he deserves to be the champion. I think he would be the champion. But Volkanovski tested positive for COVID. So
yeah, it's unfortunate. I was looking forward to that fight too.
The fight's still going to happen. It's going to be down the road. And so let's get into my bets. So these are my bets. I told you guys my first bet. I got Nagano winning the fight. I got Nagano winning by knockout, and I got Nagano winning the first round. Those are all 3 separate bets that I'm making. I got a parlay. I'm taking Luke, O'Malley, and Worthy. That's my parlay.
Okay. That
parlay pays 206 plus 206. So that's not bad. Those are all heavy favorites too that I'm taking in that parlay. And those are actually the only bets I'm making in this fight. I'm not going to take anyone else to win because it's not really, the odds aren't there. The money's not there.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that one parlay. I'm going to go with the knockout in the first round, the main event. And I'm going to take Nagano to win that fight. And now I know I like Stipe. I think if it gets out of that first round, I think Stipe's taking the fight. And he could take it. He could knock him out in the first round too. Who knows?
Yeah, let's see if Nagano is prepared now, a little better cardio-wise, right? In case it goes further than obviously the first round where we think he could knock him out. But yeah, I'm placing a few bets as well. I'm jumping on your first round knockout bet with Nagano. I like that. You reminded me of that one, so I'm going to do that. The only other bet I placed right now is I have Luke, O'Malley, and Nagano in a parlay. And yeah, $50 bet pays out $116, so not too bad.
That's not too bad.
All right, we will go through those next episode.
Can't wait for Govic to have his shots.
And let me just say on air here too that shot that you have to take next week, whether it's you or me, it's not going to be a shot of that wine that you got over there. It's going to be something 40% or above.
I don't have any wine, but yeah,
Or,
it's gonna
be lots.
Yeah, it's brandy, my friend. It's
no
brandy.
Chichen Itza or something.
Slivovica?
Yeah, there you go.
No, you know what? I'll pull out the bottle of Jameson for that for next week. And you know what? Even if Stipe wins, I will take a shot with you, which means you'll have to take two.
If Stipe wins, I'll be happy for you too. I really don't care too much. I just think it's your boy, so you picked him. I already got a shot on the line. That's why I'm going against him.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right, we're about to talk dirty, and the only one that gets real dirty here is the Mr. Dan Fernandez. Dan, how you doing?
Good, going good, guys. How's everything with you guys?
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dirty Talk with Dan Nandez. Thank you again, West Coast Sports Junkies, for having me back on your show and making the Dirty Talk a weekly feature. If you're looking to send in some hot topics to discuss on the Dirty Talk, send them directly to myself on Instagram at Dan Nandez 21. That's at DANNANDEZ 21. Alrighty, you want to get dirty? You want to know what's dirty? How about Desean Watson? What is going on with that man? I mean, for the last month, we have been hearing he wants out of Houston. He's tired of playing for Bill O'Brien's screw-up. And, I think we know the real reason he wants out of Houston. 14 assault charges? Like, what is that guy doing? Never mind Desean Watson. We got Isaiah Wilson with the Titans, drafted first round last year. Do you know that he only played 3 snaps? 3 snaps in the entire season. DUI, charged with reckless driving, broke team protocol about the entire season, COVID rules broken, released by the team. Dolphins pick him up in the offseason, and they offer to throw a handout, offer him a little bit of help. He declines. He doesn't show up to optional practices, off-season practices, and now they cut him. 22-year-old, done. Not even half of a season playing. And how about the breaking news? Coming out of our Abbotsford boy, Chase Claypool, getting into fights in California. Mike Tomlin is probably cringing right now. If it is not TikTok juju dancing all over the field, now we got your number one pick, Chase, kicking people in the offseason, getting into bar fights. Like, come on, guys. You're professional athletes. Let's, take advantage of your talent. I would kill to have 1/4 of their talent to be making millions and millions of dollars a year. I mean, you're not above the law. Stop breaking it. Pretty simple. Stay off the social media. Stay out of trouble, and just do what you are paid to do, and that is to be a professional athlete, represent your team, represent your city. Oh my goodness. Bah, 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 bah. Let's hit the ice, guys. We haven't hit the ice. Let's have a penalty kill for the last 2 minutes. And what better way than talking about our hometown boys, the Vancouver Canucks? You know what? This is actually my favorite time of the year in sports. We're the midway through the season, coming up to trade deadline, and word on the street, the Canucks aren't planning on doing a whole lot. They scrummaged up a couple of wins over the last few weeks against Ottawa. Congrats. Busted out, here and there. You're getting back-to-back, maybe a home, maybe a away win against, Calgary. Great. And now we think, you know what? I think we got this good run. We don't need to make any trades. We don't need to, sign anyone. We're good with what we got. Same old song, different day, and you know what? It's the same result, falling flat, barely squeaking into the playoffs. I think we're going to have another season. Maybe we squeak in to the first round with this, COVID freebies of 4 teams getting in. And you know what? At the end of the day, like they say, a broken clock tells the time twice a day. You know what? It doesn't make it a Rolex. Start signing some people, Aquilinis. Give us something to cheer about. It's coming up to the COVID is almost done. Fans are going to be back in the arena. You got Brock Besser. You got Elias Peterson. Bo Horvat. We've drafted some good studs. Who the hell are we going to sign to lead them? Anyway, that's my rant this week, guys. You know what? Thanks for having me on the show. Look forward to being on the show next week. A little sneak peek. Finally, let's let the athletes have a little chill, and we're going to hear about what's happening with the officiating in the leagues. That's the new hot topic for the week. That's the new dirty. Have a great week, everyone. Stay dirty.
Let's get into it. That was some dirty talk. If I heard dirty, that was dirty. Woo! Desean Watson, boys. I don't know. Ooh, that's why he wants out of Houston, eh? Hey, Dan?
Well, what other reason? I would be running. And when you've got, lawyers and a lot of accusations coming my way.
I think, Dan, you hit the nail right in the head there. And that's exactly what Watson wanted the masseuse to do.
I don't know. I don't understand these guys. I honestly don't understand. Like, what did Michael Jordan say to Tiger Woods? How do I pick up these girls at the club?
Tell them you're fucking Tiger
Tell them who
Woods.
you are.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with these guys?
But
come on.
Maybe you're right, Dan, though. Maybe he saw all this coming, and that's why he wanted to get out of Houston in a hurry.
Hang on 1 second. Desean Watson is not a Tiger Woods or a Michael Jordan.
Listen,
so maybe that pickup line doesn't work for him.
Hey,
he's always wearing a helmet. He's always wearing a helmet. So, Tiger and Michael Jordan, easy face to recognize. When you're under all that pad and helmet, he's just trying to get recognized.
You know what? It worked for me just saying I was a plumber. Never mind if I was a starting quarterback for the Houston Texans, man. Come on.
But yeah, there's some pretty disturbing allegations. So I don't know, man. It's not a good look. It's not good for the team, obviously. I don't see this ending well for Desean Watson at all. Like, is he going to be even in the league? at this point in a couple weeks, depending what else comes out here. This is crazy stuff.
How old is he? He's young, isn't he?
He's young. He's probably like 20. He's like he
23?
was drafted same year as Mahomes.
Maybe, what, 23, 24? Something like that?
Not an idiot.
But are teams still going to want to trade for him with all this drama? Like, man.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, I mean, talent wins games. Talent is what puts asses in the seat. That's what sells tickets. Any team is going to take a chance with him. If he breaks protocol, if he's
25.
25 years old.
Breaks
I mean,
protocol. The guy has a potential federal lawsuit.
Well, yeah, but as of right now, I
Lawsuit
mean,
coming against him.
he's not on the commissioner's exempt list, so technically he can start off-season training. He's still signed with the Texans. He can still be traded. And I think any team is going to take a chance. And at the end of the day, similar to Antonio Brown, if you have legal issues, you just get cut. Nothing to do with the team. I mean, you don't have to pay any of them.
Yeah,
Signing bonus will be minimal. Probably very few draft picks will be involved based on what possibly could happen. So I think, I mean, teams will still, dip their toe in the pond, but at the end of the day, they're not.
I don't see him being moved anytime.
They're not going to be taking any type of risk for sure.
Hey, who was that guy on the Giants that shot himself? Do you remember that? The guy that shot himself in the leg? Plaxico. Did anyone ever sign him after he got out of jail for that?
No, he was in the CFL.
Oh, there you go.
And I think Desean, if he doesn't play his cards right, will be playing arena football at this rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
With
but
Josh Gordon.
teams do not want to attach themselves to these allegations. Are terrible, man. I know they're just allegations, and he's innocent until proven guilty. All that stuff. So it's kind of a wait and see thing.
Yeah, but
his see anyone trading for him anytime soon.
His reputation is tarnished. His reputation is tarnished right now. It doesn't matter even if it's alleged. It's still reputation is out the window. And not only that, he pulled all that shit before. I'm not playing for the coach. Blah blah blah. That's yeah. I wouldn't want him on my. Would you trade him for Russ?
Hell no.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
Hell no.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. It's very dirty, not the type of dirty we want to go on the show normally, but we got to talk about the news. Right?
Nothing we endorse, but it is very dirty. So.
Yeah.
Well, look at Chase Claypool. I don't know if you guys have seen the video that's come out. It's literally just came out today. But, I mean, getting into a bar fight in a parking lot with a bunch of kids. Literally, it looks like high school kids. Like university freshmen.
He is super young. He is just like I think he'd be a second-year college guy right now if he didn't go pro after his first season.
At the end of the day, when you're signing $1 million contracts, I mean, you got to grow up. Doesn't matter what the age is on your driver's license.
Yeah, I don't get these guys, man.
They're the guidance. We talked about it earlier. Where's the guidance for these people? Where's the guidance? Like, these are kids.
He's 22.
Yeah, okay, he's 22, but where's the team? Why is the team not bringing someone in or to babysit him at least? Like, I would take care of my investment that way if I had a salary.
Yeah, it's the off season, that's
team.
The problem. That's the problem. They go home, then they travel and they party. They spend their money.
That guy's been traveling. Let me tell you, he was in like Cabo like maybe 2 weeks ago. He was here in Vancouver like a week ago, and now he's in California.
I mean, what would we be doing with that money at that age and that fame?
Look at what Crosby did. He moved in with Mario Lemieux in his basement.
That is true.
It's true, is it not? Same with McDavid. McDavid's in the gym every day. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are like, well, I wouldn't say the rare exceptions, but there's a lot of these young kids that don't seem to get it. Don't seem to get it at all, and they just end up on TMZ and on Twitter.
Yeah. What did Crosby do the night they won the cup? Crosby never even went out for a drink. He went on the treadmill.
And the next morning, you heard some clinking in the gym, and it was just Crosby by himself doing squats.
That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. But if you're in the NFL, I guess you go out and get into fights and sexually harass women and all that stuff for the National Felons League. Right?
Shoot yourself in the leg.
Shoot yourself in the leg, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, part of the problem is, I guess we could debate it all night. Is you're giving these young kids, well, they're young adults, still super immature, lots of money,
Millions and millions. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
they feel like they can do anything they want, get away with anything they want.
sure.
Acting dirty.
Yeah.
But Dan, I was happy to hear some hockey talk in the dirty talk this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't know. I think we're all a little bit passionate at this time of the year about our hometown boys, the Canucks. It's getting to the crunch, a shortened season.
Yeah.
There's always that hope. Like I said, my favorite time of the year, trade deadline will be coming up soon. And, word on the street is they're staying put. They're happy with what the team looks. They're happy with the little run that they had. And it seems like...
Well, I have to correct you. The word on the street is, and what is making us so mad is that we're not going to be sellers and we potentially could be buyers because Aquilini and management think that they can squeak into the playoffs and we might be able to go for a little run. And that's the opposite of what this team needs and what we need to do.
So
we need to be sellers. We need to be sellers.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. That's Jim Benning every morning when he wakes up. And Aquaman sending him texts, probably with those memes and gifs.
Aquaman.
Fuck, man. But yeah, they're just going in the wrong direction. Dan, you mentioned it. We put some wins together here and there. It's pretty much all been on the back of Thatcher Demko. We definitely do not have the team right now that can win a Stanley Cup. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Like I say,
But I think over the last 2-3 seasons, we've definitely built a future, a really exciting future in the players that I mentioned. Horvat, Brock Besser,
Hughes.
Pedersen.
You forgot Quinn Hughes.
Oh yeah, I forgot. And Demko. But it's like, again, these guys are all young. They haven't even hit their prime yet. Do you think that we're going to be able to go far with such a young core? That's where they really need to, like you said, get rid of, if Holtby is going to be like maybe a franchise expansion pick for the Krakens, then okay. But it's like, what was the point of signing him?
Well, there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle there. Are you going to re-sign Demko? What are you going to pay him?
Yeah, apparently he's going to do a bridge deal. So he's going to do a couple of years at a lower rate, and then he'll do his big deal after that. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's a potential to happen. But then, yeah, Hughes and Pedersen are due soon for big contracts. The problem is we have so much money tied up in our fourth line, as we've talked about.
Yeah.
Over and over again, because it's true. We have no cap space. We're paying Louis Eriksson to be on our taxi squad, $6 million a year. We have
Luongo still gets paid.
We have Jay Beagle, Roussel, Brandon Sutter. They're all essentially the same player, and we're paying them crazy amounts of money. Like it's insane. We do have the core, we do have the young pieces, but we don't have the team to win the cup right now. We need to be sellers, get rid of some of our assets that can return a few draft picks and go that route, because clearly what they've been doing and what we're doing is not working.
Yeah, I think their priority should be dumping the dead weight and the big contracts that are really not doing anything.
He's got a hard on for these contracts. Benning's sick. Like he gets so horny when he sees the fourth line. Oh yeah, good guy, good solid guy. Give him $4 million a year. Like, oh man, I don't understand it.
Did you guys hear this news come out that the Canucks are talking to Bonnie Henry about getting fans back?
Yeah,
I did read that.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah,
What do you
that's
think
exciting
about that?
news.
It's got to make Aquaman happy, as Ty calls him.
Yeah, that's definitely going to make him happy. I'd be ecstatic if we were able to safely social distance wise go watch a Canuck game, man. That would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. But another sporting event. It feels like it's been forever, man. But I hope it happens here soon. And I hear we're getting closer to the vaccine anyway, so that's good. Govik, why don't you talk to us about what's going on in the world of officiating in the NHL? What happened this week?
Well, there was a live mic, a hot mic as they call it, I guess, and the ref, it cuts off a little bit, but yeah, he was saying how he wanted to give Carolina an early an early fucking power play or an early penalty or whatever he said, and then it cuts off, and so the NHL investigates it, and lo and behold, the ref is never going to ref again. What happened there?
Oh man!
And I heard this is like a veteran ref, like one of the most popular refs. One of the best.
But you know
refs.
what? Guaranteed that conversation happens all the time. Officials talk like that all the time. Like we call it watching a game. If the Canucks get
when
3
I
straight
play
power
hockey,
plays, we're like, oh man, we're getting a penalty suit. Like if we don't capitalize on this power play, that there's going to be a couple coming the other way. Like it's just
yeah, they want to even it
how
up.
it works.
Right?
Exactly. He just was unfortunate to be caught on a hot mic.
Is that because again there was no fans around? So
I actually read about how
Everything
it
sounds a
happened,
lot
okay?
clearer. Yeah.
I actually read about like how that broke down and how that happened. So apparently the audio technician in the truck was checking on the ref's mic like they normally do, and he thought the broadcast had already gone to commercial. So that guy is probably not super popular with Tim Peel. And apparently it's not like uncommon. They do that all the time, right? During commercial breaks, check the mics, all that stuff. So that was just really bad timing for Tim Peel. But you know that goes on all the time, those kind of conversations. You just don't want it to be out there, obviously. Makes the game look bad for the integrity of the game.
yeah, for sure.
Totally bad for the integrity, and it's funny. It's funny just how it went, and I don't know. It's hard to defend, right? How do you defend that?
You can't defend that, exactly.
It's your words, I know.
Well, you know what? I think that in this day and age, we're holding our players accountable. We're making them be available to the media after the games. I think officials should be available to the media. They should have to explain themselves on calls.
That's a good call. Govik would love that after that Canuck game. He was so pissed
I would have loved to hear the explanation for that. But again, I don't think that any sport in the world lets their officials talk after games.
It's going to be coming. The NBA is already on it. I've been hearing talks that the NBA's are already on right now. When you're during live games and there's a TV timeout or they're looking at a replay. You see, like the refs are actually explaining what they saw in Champions League, in European football. When they're going to that tent, they're coming back and they're saying this is what we saw on footage, explaining the decision, reversing it if they need to.
That's why they have the rules official on broadcast now, right? To explain what's happening and to defend the call or to say if that was a bad call or not. But I'm with Govik. I don't think we're going to get to that point where they're interviewing refs after the game.
I remember the Fail Mary in Seattle and the death threats. The death threats the ref got from that, and he wrote a book about it too. And the fans will hold them accountable. They know who they are. They mentioned those refs aren't, they're not camouflaged. Their names are out there on who they are, and fans will hold them accountable.
Well, I don't know.
I'm not for the death threats, but they for sure call them out.
Yeah, well, I mean, bad calls are going to happen. It's live time. We can all argue that they're making split-second decisions while everyone else gets to take minutes and replay and look still shots, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the big impact decisions. And when there's a comment that comes out like this in the media where, I have to make it even, let's give it this way the next time, you're taking away from the integrity of the game.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight. It was a lot of great content, a lot of dirty talk at the end there. Lots of good stuff coming up on our next episode. Hope you join us. Have a good night, boys.
Yeah, good seeing you guys, and look forward to watching these fights. And hopefully Govik's taking shots next week. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, another fun night. See you guys next week.
Adios, boys. Well, that's our episode for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, follow us, give us a rating, like us, Be sure to also follow us on Twitter at West Coast Sport 9. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on podcasting platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Reach out to us by email at westcoastsportsjunkies@gmail.com. We are also now on Instagram at west_coast_sports_junkies. Follow us there. Thanks for listening. Join us for the next episode. Goodbye.